Crime Inspection Complete Law Amendment to Public Prosecutors Office Act passes National Assembly. Filibuster to revision of criminal law. The prosecution passed the plenary session of the amendment bill of the Prosecution Office Law, the strong opposition of the people. The next amendment to the Criminal Procedure Act also begins the filibuster. In addition, the Democratic Party and Park Byung-suk, the chairman of the National Assembly, held a plenary session on the 30th of the weekend and passed the amendment bill of the Prosecution Office Law, which is a bill related to the so-called. Of the 293 registered members, 177 attended and 172 voted in favor. The power of the people will proceed with the filibuster, unlimited discussion on it, while the Democratic Party plans to respond to it again with a segregation split, while another bill related to inspection and completion is proposed. The National Assembly passed an amendment to the Public Prosecutors Office Act, which included the scope of the prosecutor's direct investigation to be initiated at the plenary session at around 4:30 p.m., with the scope of corruption and economic crimes, allowing the prosecutor to make a supplementary investigation into crimes directly related to each crime recognized by the police, and preventing the prosecutor from filing a complaint against the crime that began the investigation. It is the result of changing the scope of investigation into corruption crime, economic crime in the process of the Judiciary Committee's mediation opinion to corruption crime, economic crime again. In addition, the prosecution's right to investigate the police case was acknowledged, and the clause prohibiting the investigation, which stipulates that it is only within the scope of the same crime facts as the case, was deleted again during the discussion process. The bill received 172 votes out of 177 people present. Lee Tae-gyu, Choi Yeon-suk and Cho Young-hoon, who are scheduled to be elected by the people, voted against the opposition, while independent lawmakers and Basic Income Party lawmakers, members of the People's Power, did not participate in the vote, with pickets such as prosecution reform only in words, keeping Lee Jae-myung in reality, and some lawmakers went to the chairman's office and protested that they were physically damaged by being pushed by the chairman and bodyguard. The power of the people against the inspection was opposed to the bill proposed at the plenary session on the 27th, but the discussion was concluded at the end of the session, and the bill was automatically proposed to the plenary session on the day. The power of the people opposed it and declared absence from the Special Committee on Judicial Reform to discuss the establishment of a serious crime investigation agency. President Moon Jae-in should be a veto, not a beneficiary of the inspection, said Kwon Sang-dong, the president of the people. I hope you will respond to the interview without hiding behind the curtain. On the other hand, Democratic Party leader Park Hong-kun said the Democratic Party's position to strengthen the nation's investigation capacity, while protecting the human rights of the people through the separation of investigation and prosecution, is extremely legitimate. The power of the people is not only a political responsibility for the destruction of the agreement, but also a public apology, but also a referendum that has broken down the National Assembly advancement law by occupying the chairman of the judiciary and depriving the doctor's office. After passing the amendment bill of the Prosecution Office Law, the Democratic Party passed the decision to end the session on the day, followed by another bill on the inspection and completion, the amendment of the Criminal Litigation Law. The power of the people immediately entered the filibuster. The first runner is Kim Hyung-dong, a member of the Judiciary Committee. However, as the session ends in one day, the filibuster will also automatically end at 12 o'clock this night, and the next plenary session will be held on the 3rd of next month. In addition, the Democratic Party will proceed with the revision of the Criminal Procedure Law on March 3rd, while the prosecution's investigation and prosecution separation, and the so-called impossibility of prosecution investigation. According to the National Assembly on the 1st, Park Byung-suk, the chairman of the National Assembly, announced that the 397th National Assembly temporary session will be held at the National Assembly on the 3rd at 10 a.m. on the 3rd, as a request for a rally was submitted from 167 people, including Park Hong-kun, the floor leader of the Democratic Party of Korea. The Democratic Party's second prosecution reform will be finalized if the amendment bill of the Criminal Procedure Act is passed at the plenary session on March 3, following the amendment bill of the Public Prosecutors Office Act. The Democratic Party neutralized the filibuster unlimited debate of the people's power to block the legislation of the inspection completion at the plenary session the previous day by separating the session.